fully operated by the sun. At first they put a wood stove in, but found they didn't need it. The cylinders that were going to fish also absorbed all the heat and moderated the temperature, so even in the cold New England winter, this was functioning. What they took from the wastewater fish, they then ran it to hydroponic tomatoes, used the nutrients from the fish were producing to grow the tomatoes, and they in turn purified the water and circulated back into the fish. So if this concept sounds vaguely familiar, it's because it's the foundation of modern day aquaponics, which has just exploded in all kinds of backyard developments of aquaponics. But the same principles are at stake. Fish are grown in one container. Their water is pumped to various versions of a hydroponic system that will purify that water, grow the vegetables, and then the water will be recycled back into the system there. A lot of backyard systems have developed, but there are also commercial systems, especially in Hawaii, at a much larger scale. In fact, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, their manual on aquaponics is the most downloaded manual they have. So worldwide, people are running experiments with this. And there are simpler systems without the pumping system. In Indonesia, they have a more direct system of growing plants directly in there. But it's a system that has its roots directly with the work of John Todd and his colleagues. So in the 1980s, John and Nancy Todd left New Alchemy and formed their own another organization called Ocean Arcs International, where they focus much more specifically on using biological systems to purify water. So there's an example of a system that was created in South Burlington, Vermont. You'll see some similarities. Sewage is coming in and it's going through a series of artificially created wetlands and systems using plants and animals to break apart. So this could handle 80,000 gallons of sewage a day and treat the water to tertiary water standards, all without the use of chemicals. These systems are not only used for sewage treatment, they're also being used for industrial treatment of industrial waste. He's been doing work in China to clean up polluted rivers, and in South Africa. But closer to home, at the Corkscrew Swamp, the visitor center was having a problem dealing with its sewage area. So they brought in John Todd, and they created a 70-foot by 70-foot area, this artificial wetlands that treats the water. 90% of the water is treated and then recycled back into the toilets. It's a place I'm anxious to go visit and check out. It's also become kind of an educational facility. And it's also, by the way, treating the water at less cost than conventional systems. So this is just a few people at New Alchemy and Ocean Arcs. I mean, their work has spanned 45 years of experience. And they've done amazing work. However, I don't think we've even begun to realize the potential of these systems. And what we really need is more research and, more importantly, getting them all over the world and looking for those systems. What you see John Todd doing with using living systems is doing more with less. And it's a principle of ephemeralization. And the inventor R. Buckminster Fuller used the concept of ephemeralization as a basis of one of his core principles in his design work. So I go to Fuller because when thinking about how I define sustainability, I like Fuller's way of phrasing it. To make the world work for 100% of humanity in the shortest possible time through spontaneous cooperation without ecological offense or the disadvantage of anyone. What I particularly like about Fuller's definition is its focus on equity, and that we're working for all of humanity without the disadvantage of anyone. So with that basic introduction, I'd like to now move into the second part, where we'll talk about learning and research. There is a special set of problems, or which require a special kind of learning. And these are ill-defined problems, and they've been referred to as wicked problems. And wicked problems are problems that create other problems as you try to solve them. They have contradictory requirements, they have changing constraints, they have stakeholders with radically different worldviews. I believe to deal with wicked problems, you need different ways of approaching learning. And I think one of the best ways of trying to illustrate this is by giving an analogy to another type of learning. And this is learning with your hands. So Frank Wilson, a neurologist, has written a book called The Hand, How Its Use Shapes the Brain, Language, and Human Culture. And in the book he describes how the use of the hands actually impacts the structure of your brain. So the Jet Propulsion Lab has actually found this to be true, and they're using it in their hiring system. They found the best engineers have worked with their hands as youth. And vocational teachers have also found that students who have not worked with their hands cannot solve certain kinds of problems. So JPL and NASA, when they're recruiting volunteers, are going to ask about people's experience with their hands, with working with their hands. So I believe that just as this working with your hands cannot be duplicated by reading about it, that there are, so too, a type of learning that requires being engaged with real-world problems under conditions of uncertainty. And that this learning also cannot be duplicated in the classroom. So I need some way of just talking about this learning, so I'm calling it WIT learning. The W stands for operating under wicked conditions, maximum ambiguity, complexity, confusion. I stands for impact, having a real impact and making a difference for people. And transformational, that both the students and the people they're working with should be changed by this process. So I see WIT learning preparing students to deal with complex problems by helping them deal with conditions of ambiguity and uncertainty. I think it helps develop a tolerance for ambiguity, a sensitivity to patterns, and a capacity for empathy. I think it also avoids functional fixedness, a concept in psychology that shows that learning in one narrow domain just stays there. People cannot move that learning to another domain, so that when they're confronted with a novel situation, they cannot apply their situations. And I think with learning and that experience will help students overcome that, and it does not become such a limiting factor. So related to WIT learning would actually be research, and engaging in research that is dealing with real-world problems. Many of our problems that we're dealing with need multiple disciplines to try and solve them.